And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day.
Now that firmament, this is where my area comes in. This particular firmament that was created was a crystalline vapor canopy that covered the earth, which gave the earth more or less like a greenhouse effect. And everything grew large. Like I said before, the average person was 8 to 9 feet tall. And then, of course, we had the huge animals there. So my area, which I love to work in, of course, is that pre-flood time. What happened during that pre-flood time? Why was the animal so huge? Why was man so huge? Because of the atmospheric pressure. If you lived at that particular time and 20 pounds per square inch of oxygen content, you could run up to 200 miles. You could be able to run up to 200 miles before fatigue was set in. And then not only that, the vitamins and the minerals that was in the vegetation was at its height. Energized water. So there were people that ate the fruit, vegetables, nuts, and grains, and then drank the energized water. They were huge. I have a 47-inch femur of a human, which we had made a replica of a person that was approximately 14 to 15 feet tall. There's a secular magazine, I won't call the name, did an article on giants. Right now we're doing a book on giants. I'm currently writing a book on giants. And then, of course, we found out, especially some insight in this particular article, that many of the bones that people had uncovered around the world, they thought they were bones of animals. But come to find out, forensic archaeologists got involved in these, and a lot of them were human remains. One of the skulls that was found, and if you look at my website, and I give you the number to my website, if you look on my website, I examined some large human skulls. We see there in France, this particular 19 feet 6 inches in 1577, under a overturned oak tree, these remains were found. 19 feet 6 inches. And then, of course, in 1456 AD in France, beside the river, then this particular human remains were found, 23 feet. 23 feet. And of course, 25 feet 6 inches, this human remains in 1613. And all this is documented in our research that we're doing for our book. We see these remains, but the largest one that has been found, of course, is this 36 foot, and that was found from around 800 BC down to 146 BC in North Africa, in Carthage, was found in Turkey, in Bosphorus, and two of these were found. With that in mind, we see that in the Bible, if these names are familiar you are familiar with in the Bible, the Nephilim, Zamzummim, the Carthaginians and the Hivites, the Jebusites, the Hittites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Canaanites. These are listed as various cultures of giants that are in the Bible. So we know that they existed pre-flood, giants, and flood. And all the scriptures are available. You can find them in Joshua, Deuteronomy, the book of Numbers. We talked about, when the Bible talks about giants in the land that Moses, that the children of Israel dealt with, of course, they are there. Now, that's a close-up, and that's my foot. Forgive me, because that particular day I forgot to put lotion on my foot. But But anyway, and then I needed a pedicure. And every time I go at home and get a pedicure, that people say, oh Lord, here he comes. So I have a problem with that. But anyway, that's the fruit. You know, you can see the imprint there, and you can see how the phalanges or the toes are. See, no one carved this. This was actually step, because we see the push up around, because when you step in mud, then of course the mud has to go. Has to go somewhere. So that's what we call push up. So when we find that, we know that it's actually a footprint. That's a person that stepped in it. And so we have many of these. We've uncovered over 600 dinosaur tracks and over 90 human footprints in the same Cretaceous limestone. Dr. Boyle and myself. You know Dr. Boyle. Okay, here's something else. Now, I don't have a scale for this, but you know how large this armadillo is? He's about the size of a Volkswagen, small Volkswagen. You know, in Texas, I think they still eat armadillo in Texas, I think. They do? Yeah. Anything go good with grits.